Welcome to the McCullough Mountains. We're at the northern high point here. We are going to first ascend the ridge here and then follow the ridge line southwards to the high forests and to the edge of the range. Arriving just in the nick of time here in the McCulloughs, because it's about to get hot as heck down there in the Las Vegas Valley, both in terms of today, later today, and in the coming days. So I've just ascended out of the valley. I'm on a higher, breezier plateau, feeling better already, especially because my water supply is slightly unexpectedly low, and I need to stay as high in elevation and as cool in bodily temperature as possible. Should be easier in the forests with shade and whatnot. Probably much cooler at around 6,000, 7,000 feet of elevation where that's going to be than here, which is around 3,000 feet. But nonetheless, it's about to get hotter each day with each passing day, no matter where one is exactly in this region. So I'm going to head up into that canyon ahead and continue to keep the temperature down, hopefully. These are just some of the private walled communities of outer Las Vegas, Henderson technically. It's a false semblance of security, I'd say, especially with things crumbling out there in Las Vegas in terms of the homeless population, economic despair, and whatnot. Probably be here for years to come. The COVID-19 crisis and subsequent effects, and these people are aloof from it all. In pretty close quarters, seems to me. I wouldn't want to live all cramped up in brand new plywood houses like that. They probably pay upwards of $1 million for those enclaves. Calochordus flexuosus here. 3 outer sepals, 3 inner petals. Kind of a light lavender color. They are straggling in this Ambrosia damosa, as are lots of Raffinaceae for that matter. Six stamens down there, and 3 style lobes there. Stigma / style lobes. Not much of a style. And when's it gonna stop? When's the water gonna run out? I don't know what the answer is, but there's only so much further Henderson can go, either way, before it stops being Henderson anymore. Although the predominant species in the northern McCulloughs here is definitely cheatgrass and other bromus like Mudritensis, but nonetheless, it's a thriving Sphaerosia forest here, and it's quite beautiful. There's Delphinium parishii speckled in throughout, so it's not all trash here. And I picked a good time to increase elevation for sure, because it's It's just bearable here with a breeze, but lower down I'm sure it's hot as a furnace. Oh, Charleston fast losing its snow. Looked like a wintry summit just a few weeks ago. That's part of the Flora area too, so we'll be diving in here and there throughout the course of this thing. This is the northernmost high point of the McCulloughs. It's called Black Mountain. The range dips down into Henderson, Las Vegas, out there. That's the southwest end of Henderson, ever expanding. Mount Charleston losing its snow. It's called Black Mountain because, as you can see, most of the rocks here are quite dark. I'm sure it's an absolute unwalkable furnace. Probably just 1 month or so from now. It's late April right now. Fairly hot as it is. It's doable up here though, breezy. Although probably in the 80s still, quite hot. There's the southern extension of the ridge system, and it rises into the forested zone even further south there. I'm going to try to pass through all that low stuff kind of in the middle part of the range there this evening through early tomorrow to conserve water and not be totally miserable the whole time. Got some real thought-provoking philosophical musings on the trail register here. COVID is 5G. Here we've got rock nettle, Euchnidae urens. It's not a nettle at all, it's actually in the Loasaceae family. But it's very sandpaper-like and even Velcro-like. Many members of the Loasaceae have these bristly or rough hairs, and Euchnidae urens is no exception. No flowers or fruits, that's the last year's material. But interesting nonetheless. It adheres to cliff faces more often than not. This is the high north ridge of the McCulloughs. It's more of a plateau right here. It's going to drop off significantly lower there and then rise significantly higher compared to where I am now. In terms of that lower stuff ahead, I need to bust out a lot of that before midday tomorrow when it's going to be hot as heck again. It's pretty darn warm out up here, but it's starting to cool down finally. That means I can move faster. Not so many shade breaks necessary, etc. Mostly a Joshua tree forest up here with occasional ephedra, occasional Laria and stuff. That's starting to fade out though. There's a ton of Bromus madritensis, unfortunately. Even though no one really comes out here, there's still a lot of invasive brome. And there's starting to appear some Coleogyne blackbrush. And I think that's gonna represent the summit vegetation, basically, just getting into the Mojave montane zone with the blackbrush and such, but still very much a lot of lower, hot, deep Mojave elements present up here, such as Euchnidae. Sphaerosia ambigua, etc. Gotta get out there to the McCulloughs of my heart, the McCulloughs of my soul, the McCulloughs of my dreams. Didn't take much of a siesta today, so I'm feeling a little scorched and thirsty. A little worried about tomorrow. It's going to be another scorcher, and water supply is slightly less full than I would like. It's more diminished than I would like. There are some springs in the McCulloughs out there, the high McCulloughs that is. These are the northern, hotter, presumably rougher ones. And I'll be camping on the gentle ridges out there, but they're going to heat up by midday tomorrow. High McCulloughs out there to the south. It's a bit cloudy and breezy right now, so I'm not feeling the heat yet. But I imagine this is all going to burn off soon, and it's going to be quite a hot day. Have about a gallon of water. Should be enough to get me to whatever springs exist. The base of the McCulloughs there, the high McCulloughs. Here in the central McCulloughs, it is very similar to the lower Mojave Flats in terms of vegetation. Creosote, ephedra, Sphaerosia ambigua, ferrocactus, Joshua trees, etc. everywhere. There's no black brush, and if it weren't clouded over a little bit, and if it weren't so breezy, I definitely would not be doing too well out here. It's kind of a slow day as it is, and I'm attributing that to water and general exhaustion. I have plenty of water, I just don't want to chug through it until I'm much closer to some springs. But these breezes, these clouds are making this all possible right now. I'd be sheltered in place quite frequently and for long stretches of period if there was no relief from the heat and sun right now. Just upturned a rock, and look who's hiding below there. Very much alive. There's the South McCulloughs out there. Just had to take a couple hour or so siesta under the shade of a Joshua tree to get through this. I do admit to being a little frightened at the prospect of no water out there in the South McCulloughs. Although there's several marked springs. I mean, I'm going to reach the closest one today. I need to find water no matter what. Need to definitely reach that closest one no matter what. It's a little low near an old historical ranch, so I might be a little bit worried about its viability. Not all marked springs bear water out here. However, if I continue to follow that canyon, and given all the precip, even precip just a week ago, I should be fine. At least the walking is easy in these invasive grasslands. It is mostly Bromus mudritensis out here, with a very healthy speckling and mixing of Bromus tectorum in at the same time. Lots of Sylingopuntia ramosissima actually. Lots of bighorn sheep. This cactus looks dead half the time to me. Got Coryphantha vivipara right here. Just produces a handful of terminal flowers there. And probably looks dead most of the year. Numerous stamens, multiple stigma lobes, numerous tepals. Have to say, I'm very grateful for all the dark cloud out there. Or else it would be absolutely a nightmare out here right now. Something real interesting has happened out here. Proverbial middle of nowhere. Have that big flat camo thing. I felt like I knew exactly what it was from above. There's a little sign on it saying how it was funded and what it's for. What it amounts to is this. What it amounts to is this. DesertBighorn.org. It's quite warm, but besides a couple wormy looking things, it looks rather clean. Man, this one's a lot colder, but it's a lot filthier with honeybee carcasses and whatnot, and the honeybees themselves are here. So I don't want to piss them off. Even though I could really go for some cold water right now, I'm going to go for the warmer, cleaner water, and it'll cool off overnight, whatever. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I was basically looking at a full evening of misery, walking until I found water at that spring. Probably would have been close to midnight. These ridges are really hard to navigate after dark. And I just feel relieved because now I don't have to detour up any side canyons looking for water. Now I can just go straight over the high McCulloughs because of this sportsman still. Thanks, guys and gals. So, thanks to the sports folks. I knew that the bighorns had to be drinking something somewhere. They need water. Unlike a lot of other desert creatures, bighorns need to drink. So, haven't seen probably dozens of them up here. I knew they were drinking somewhere, but could not begin to guess where, since there's no marked springs out here. That may be the only reason bighorns are out